Hey garden nerds, I'm Christy Wilhelmi, and today I'm a tomato maniac because I'm here at Tomatomania in Tapia Brothers in Encino at Tapia Brothers Farm Stand, and I'm going to walk you through Tomatomania 2022, and we're going to chat with Scott Daigre, the founder of Tomatomania. Come along. Let's start our journey with cherry tomatoes. These are, you know, the popular sun golds and all of that. There are some fun cherries back here in Cherry Island. I just have to show you Cherry Island. Dun, dun, dun. And there are a lot of varieties. Some of my favorites, well, Gardener's Delight is something I grew last year and it did really, really well. Gardener's Delight, pretty prolific and abundant. One of the other very popular varieties is called Sun Chocola, and I've grown Brad's Atomic Grape. I have to say it didn't do very well for me, but it is something that people like. Chocolate Sprinkles is one that Scott Daigre recommends often, and I'm not seeing Sun Chocola, but it's around here somewhere.
Oh, it is around. I've seen it. It's around here somewhere.
It's around here somewhere. One of my favorites is Barry's Crazy Cherry. I'm always growing that. And what else? Yellow Pear is a favorite of mine. I really enjoy Yellow Pear. Red Grape, Lemon Cherry. All right, let's go over to something else. So in the regular tomatoes, Lava Flow, it was the tomato of the year in 2021. I grew it last year. It did really well, and it's kind of interestingly colored, sort of russet and red and orange and with bits of green on the inside. Fun stuff. Let's see, what else have we got? There's just so many to choose from. Oh my gosh. The Madame Marmonade, it's a hybrid. I generally don't go for hybrids, but this one Scott gave me and I put it in my garden. It was the 2018 Tomato of the Year and it was crazy productive. So if you have troublesome soil and you don't really seem to be able to grow beefsteak tomatoes very well, try Madame Marmonade. What else have we got? I'm a big fan of Missouri Pink. It does really well in coastal areas where, you know, beefsteaks don't do very well. I've gotten pretty big tomatoes from this guy. What else? Mr. Stripey. I see Mr. Stripey over here. But, you know, this is just one of those that I grow it even though it doesn't do super great for me, but I know other people have really gotten good luck out of this one. Let's see what's going on over here because there's so much more. Hello, tractor. Let's see where else we have. Some new at Tomatomania for the first time. Gargamel. Okay, I don't know anything about this one. Gold stripe, plum shape beauty. We'll have to check this one out. And Gladiator is another one it's a hybrid. It's pretty popular. Let me zoom in on that. Gladiator is one that Scott recommends. It's a hybrid. It's a big, giant, heart, kind of ox heart type tomato, but not the same shape. It's a big, giant teardrop is what it is. Woohoo! And let's go back out. Okay, gold medal. I love gold medal, but look at all these tomatoes, you guys. Goat bag. What is goat bag? Just out of curiosity. Ox heart, yeah, beautiful ox heart type. And it seems to be biggest ones look like a goat's udder. Do goats even have udders? A lot of the tomatoes have already gone for the day. Oh wait, this is this year's Tomato of the Year. Hold on, let me get to that. This year's Tomato of the Year is Bronze Torch, and it looks gorgeous. I have not grown it before, but you can bet I am. The qualities of it, let's see what this says. It is a hybrid saladette of a Juliet size, and it's brick red with bronze and green stripes. Crack resistant, performs even well under disease pressure. Bronze Torch. So when you start at the A's, you go through Anna Russian and Atomic Fusion, Aunt Ruby's German Green, and go down through the B's, all the Better Boys and beefsteaks and brandy wines. And then you start to get to the black tomatoes. So Big Rainbow is one that Scott's been talking about this year. Astonishing feast to the eyes and taste buds. Yellow, orange on the outside, inside marbled red. Big classic beefsteak with wonderful sweet flavor. Not always huge producer, but the flavor is undeniable. And then we move on. Black and Brown Bear is one I grew last year. It was actually pretty prolific in my garden. I think it's a good one to try. It gives you this really interesting kind of terracotta color in the garden, and the flavor is pretty good. I even got that one to come back after the rats ate through the stem. Blush is really popular. Boxcar Willie, Bodacious, Black Brandywine, all the Brandywines, Yellow Brandywine, Bull's Heart, Ox Heart, Meaty Ox Heart. So these, you know, these tomatoes have kind of sad looking foliage, but they always produce like crazy. It's just kind of, some tomatoes are that way. And I have not seen Captain Lucky. That might be something to try. It's looks kind of like a pink Berkeley tie-dye. Nice. Candy's Cassidy's Folly. All right, this is very close to one of my favorites, the striped Roman. Striped elongated fruits, golden zigzags and green stripes, not much juice, great for sauces or canning. I might have to try this one. Ho, ho, ho. And then there's the Celebrity and blah, blah, blah. We're not gonna get those. Cherokee Green, Chocolate Stripes, Cherokee Purple, Berkeley Tie-Dye, one of my favorites, Black Crim, Midnight Snack. So, ta-da, Tomatomania. Let's go find Scott and ask him some questions. All right, it is Tomatomania and Scott Daigre, yay, the co-founder of Tomatomania. So, Scott, what's different about this year, if anything?
What's different about this year? I think I have more varieties that we don't know this year than I have in a while. There's a lot in my cycle, and we're cycling through greenhouse as the season goes along, so we have a lot in process. I think there's more that we are going to trial this year than ever, and that's pretty exciting. So some weird stuff that's out on the edges. We're always trying to be out on the fringes, but it feels like this is more than ever.
And let's talk about the tomato of the year.
The tomato of the year. Well, I was going to say, I should have said something about the dwarfs too.
Oh, right? Let's talk about the dwarfs.
Because yeah, we'll backtrack. Yeah, the dwarf tomatoes, these are heirloom indeterminate dwarf tomatoes. That's huge, that's new. And this is the project, it's called the Dwarf Tomato Project, and it's been going on with about 15 to 20 small hybridizers from all over the world. They've been doing this for 15 years. And now the result is about 400 different kinds, and that may be a conservative estimate, of these beautiful tomatoes that offer us the full spectrum of heirloom tomatoes. Large, no longer are they all small and red. That's what's happening here. So we're thrilled, and so many people are excited by them. Every shape, size, color, stripe, the whole 9 yards. On a tree type was what they call a true type plant that in our trials rarely get over this big. So rarely to 3 feet, right? I hear of bigger than that, but in our experience, this is what's happening, and it's a brand new, lovely whole thing.
And they're great for containers.
I have to say that. Oh, they're amazing they're designed for containers.
Right.
I mean, this is what they are. They are stout. They are rugose. And you gardeners know rugose means thick and sort of curvy and textured, right? That's what they are. And I gotta tell you, it makes you feel like a really good gardener when you're looking at a plant that looks really sturdy and stocky and healthy, and you can pat yourself on the back and go, wow, look what I did. That's what these dwarfs did to us in trials. So we feel good about that.
Awesome. And the tomato of the year.
Yeah, we gotta go back to Bronze Torch.
Yes.
So we're in trials last year, and I've seen this tomato. It's been sort of a little under the radar, I think probably for 2 years. First year in our trials last year. Never see it anywhere else because it's just, it's in seed catalogs and it's a large seed manufacturer or seed grower. Anyway, we pulled it in because we like similar tomatoes to it. It's elongated. We loved everything about it. This one is about yay big, between Juliet and maybe a blush size, sometimes pointed, sometimes round, brick red with green stripes.
Cool.
So we were like, okay, gotta try that.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen. It came in early. We did it in pots and in the ground. We went, oh my God, I don't think I've ever tasted anything like that in a cherry, and it's true. It's a sweet taste, but it's a very, what we call a round tomato taste. It gives you more. And I traveled with little bags of it last summer, and here, try this. And it's hard to do that with beefsteaks.
Right, you can't travel with beefsteaks.
It's very easy to do that with cherries. So we did that, and people were amazed. And that's all we needed. I mean, I'd say we kind of knew in 15 minutes this was going to be tomato of the year.
Awesome.
And nothing really surpassed it. So it's tremendous.
And it's a hybrid.
Oh, it's absolutely a hybrid. The newest of the new, which for a lot of people is really important.
Right.
You know, we love our heirlooms, but look, hybrids are there and plant science is there to create tasty, beautiful, strong, and also probably a little more disease resistant than most kind of tomatoes. We need that. A lot of us depend on that. So this is the first cherry ever in our Hall of Fame lineup. You know, we wondered how that would go. It's been a big hit, and I think it's gonna make a lot of people happy.
Awesome. And so before we go, really some tips for growing tomatoes that you've been sharing with most people this weekend.
Well, I think first of all, more and more people are growing in containers. And I think that's huge. We knew this. I mean, we see it all the time, and often people apologize for that, which is so unconscionable because growing into it. Can you believe that? I mean,
it's crazy.
Growing in containers is a fabulous way to grow containers,
especially if your soil is contaminated or diseased.
You get to produce a perfect soil if you do your job right.
Yep.
Right. Premium potting soil, and then amend it just like you do the ground with worm castings, organics, compost, whatever you got. I say a 2 to 1. That's probably a good ratio.
Excellent.
Yeah, and use a big pot. So in terms of that, I mean, we're talking a ton about containers, but we're also talking about fertilize every 10 to 14 days.
Yeah.
Consistency. That makes for a successful year in containers. And that's one of the main things I'm talking about this morning. That's truly it.
And I've found that a lot of people are really surprised by that frequency when it comes to containers, but that's the truth. They can't reach down deep for soil nutrients or microbes anywhere, or minerals anywhere else.
They get what you give them.
Right.
And here's what the other thing is: we're used to growing in the ground. I'm just going to go there. You grab a fertilizer bag and it says fertilize every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So that becomes our gospel, and we go, no, you don't. You got to fertilize some more. And look, it doesn't matter what kind of fertilizer you use. I love using organic spikes, right, that are timed release. But on top of that, I'll do a granular that next 2 weeks. I'll do a foliar feed every once in a while, because in pots that's terribly effective, right? Or wonderfully effective, I guess.
It's perfectly effective.
So yeah, so you got all this mass up here. Tomato leaves are hairy and they're ridged. They capture water. The plant will take in fertilizer through the leaves. So again, hugely effective. But switch it up. I love doing that. Give them something, give them everything. Give them a little bit of everything in those containers, because that's all they're getting. And since you're watering more in a container, every time you water, you're flushing all that out, which is why you need to fertilize more often.
Right. Excellent. Thank you, Scott, for all these great tips.
You're so welcome.
Yay!
Always
stop on by.
Always great to have you.
All right. Bye. All right, garden nerds, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this year's tour of Tomatomania 2022. If you like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to find out when our next video comes online. You'll find information on how to grow tomatoes in Gardening for Geeks, and of course, all the other stuff you can learn in my other books, Grow Your Own Mini Fruit Garden, and of my novel, Garden Variety. Check it out. Happy gardening.